a bunch of people ask this question over Yes, that's good. That's good. Thank you very much.
And then, yeah, just if you have more people, disease, just encourage them to share.
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
It's open, I think. Yep.
I'm lucky enough.
Thank you.
Just make sure that people on the or have people like partner so that they can so you need to share. Someone has a laptop that wants to sit like over there. Yeah, there's pictures right there. But it looks like it's pretty good.
And I have a question. So, what's the process?
Oh yeah, I actually got pictures on that. Next Wednesday, come a little early, and I'll do the library. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, okay, then I'll just send it to you. We'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it worked out. So, yeah.
Thanks so much.
We connected on this again? Oh, yes. Let's, I don't see it, the link like last week. Link for? For that. Oh, yes, that's right. Hey, Kelsey, can I send you this link so you can put it on a website? Or is it too?
Yeah, for the class, yeah, you can do that right now. Yes.
Thank you very much. Hey guys, we're going to wait, I don't know, 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes so people can arrive, but let's log into your Google accounts. If someone here doesn't have a Google account, just tell me that I can share the Princeton School of AI account. Okay, and I have to send this link.
The thing is, the link you gave me doesn't work because it that's and like with link, like advanced, get your. That's good. That's fine.
Okay.
There we go.
We're not in San Francisco. We're on the East Coast. You have to dress Yes.
How to get your file?
I'm going to send to. Let me see. Load this. I'm going to see everything. I'm going to steal my ideas. Hey guys, so let's. Kelsey is going to post the link right now at the website, and I just sent her. I forgot about that. We were talking about some good things that we are planning for this course, And actually, to see that the class is full again, only reinforce the things that we need that we're going to make. So, first of all, there's a need for an office hours, I think. So Saturday, 10 a.m. We're going to do office hours. Probably it's going to be room number 9. But this Saturday, we don't know where it will be, but the other Saturday is going to be room number 9. Let me get the marker here. Hours. Saturday, 10 a.m. 10, 12. What are we going to do here at night? Room number. Room.
And Vinicius and either Vinicius and I are going to be there. But if you have any specific questions, obviously you can contact
Route
us.
9 right there,
Yes.
Right there, starting.
and I think the legal limit for that is only around 8 or 9.
Do you think we're going to be over the legal limit?
You might be.
That's good news. That's good news. Well, I don't know. We're going to dominate this.
Yeah, Q&A if you have any particular questions that you want to meet us face to face.
Oh, the link's there. All right. So good news. Let's enter here to show where the link is. Yes. So guys, everyone, please enter this. Okay, you enter the main website. Go down a little bit. Okay. This is us. And this is the link.
Save a
Yeah,
copy.
yeah. Save copy and drive.
Save a copy.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, so you save a copy and drive. Okay? Everyone on the same page? Okay, so that's the first good news. So office hours, Saturday 9 a.m. And yes, and actually there's a concern that room number 9 has a link of safety.
Oh, yeah.
And we might, I hope that we're going to see.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll find another conference.
Don't worry, yeah, so this first Saturday is going to be here and then,
But if you ask me the information, that's, and, yeah, if they ask me the information, that's right. So, yeah.
so there's the first good news. The second good news, Cash App and we got together and talked a lot about this class and the demands that we had for more in-depth material. And actually, I think that for this class, the first idea was let's build projects that uses AI. But actually, the AI part, we're not going to program the AI. We're going to use resources that already exist, like spacing last time. Sorry? Okay. So I have just talked to Kelsey, and there's a high probability that in May, we are going to divide this class in 2. So we're going to have 2 classes. One is going to focus on more deep knowledge AI, how to create the AI algorithms. I would prefer to start with the math of AI. So actually, I think that's the best way to go, right? Since we are going to do constructive knowledge on that, yes. So a lot of linear algebra, partial derivatives, and some structures, some algorithm structures, deep learning structures, long short-term memories, what is forget cell, convolutional neural network, etc. So, but first we're going to start with linear algebra, building a simple feed-forward neural net with linear algebra. and then we're going to some more complicated stuff. But this is only in May. This series here, the goal is, let's make money. That's the goal. When we first started talking about this, the School of AI, the idea was to create some startups, and which is the metrics that we would love to see. Okay, if people are actually grabbing this knowledge and putting business together, or actually applying to their business or their work. So tonight we are going to do something a little bit different. Last time I thought we thought that it was a little bit dull.
It was mainly us talking.
Yeah, so it's kind of boring this. But actually, I think that as it is, we have a full class again, not that as full as was the previous one, but tonight we're going to do a project together. So we have here the code to get the information from Yelp. Actually, first we're going to do a Yelp API. Twitter API. Who were able to set a Twitter API here? Who saw the video that I posted on getting Twitter API? Was it good or not?
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
So the good news is Yelp API is much easier, and we're going to start setting up this API, and then we're going through this code to understand how we can grab. We have a bunch of parameters, how we can grab the information, and this, I don't know, it's going to take 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is just basic stuff, like just reading the data and obtaining it through like an online API, like the Yelp reviews.
Yes, and then we are going to start. The goal is, in the end of this class, every group, we're going to form groups of 2 or 3. Every group is going to make a very quick pitch on a business using the data that we're going to scrape from Yelp. Okay? So this is going to be a very hands-on class. And don't worry, I don't know how to program well. We're going to arrange a good group system here. And of course, we're going to be walking around helping to build those functions, etc. Okay? All right, so let's set up the Yelp API. So please enter Yelp. Yelp dash developers. So every single API that you're going to create, and every single website like Twitter, you have Twitter dash developers. Now Yelp dash developers. So it's pretty straightforward. Let me sign out here, but you have to create an account. So sign up. You can create your own account. I'm going to sign up with Facebook because should I sign up with the email and we go through each step together? No. Okay, probably. Oh yes, I am. I'm logged in. I have my account already. So, okay, who doesn't have their account set up? Or everybody's on the same page. All right. So go back to Yelp dash developers. Yelp.com slash developers. Yelp Fusion. Click here, Yelp Fusion. Here at the bottom, you're going to have a Yelp, a bunch of things, and Yelp Fusion. You just click Yelp Fusion. Get started, and then you're going to create an app. Is everybody on the same page here, or someone like behind? Yes. Okay. So
Haven't logged in yet.
please, let's create an app. So first, the app name. I already built this Princeton School of AI.
I have to sign in. That's not problem.
So we create same app or we just can
No,
name
create
any
your
name,
own
right?
app.
Okay.
Your own app. So create your own app. The description that I inputted here was we are an NGO that provides free artificial intelligence class. It's pretty quick. That's the description that I've inputted, but feel free to create your own.
Any name?
Yes, name of the app. So any name. This is yours, so it's your responsibility, your API, your API keys, etc. It was a little bit boring, you guys using mine. Excuse me, we can find chairs here. Would you like?
Yeah, you can pull up chairs.
So while you were doing that, let me get some chairs here. Hey. The website is down. Okay, who was able to set the company here? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who needs help? Yes. So who hasn't got it yet? Everybody has an app or not?
No, I haven't. I don't know how to get out of this window.
Oh, that's why your website crashed. Probably Yelp's recognizing that everybody here is logged in, and they said, "Okay, that's crazy."
Looks like I'm logged in.
Yeah.
But I got it in the second try.
Yeah.
Just click that your profile. Yeah, you're logged in.
Yeah, good.
And then you can create your school and
What are you saying?
you can just choose whatever. It's just a test app. Like the main thing is like the token that you get.
Okay. So let's see, is this enough?
Probably.
My terms.
Okay, so probably I'm going
Says
to.
option.
These two, because only those two are optional, so yeah. So.
Sorry, guys, that's right. Okay, so probably after you created your app, did you get into this page where you have API key? Yes. All right. So good news. Everyone's set. Now you can scrape. Obviously, this. Okay, I'm not going to say this. I don't know a good word for that in English. Only that word. So you can scrape a lot of YAML. Okay, so just copy your API key. You already have here the NLP, right? Just paste it here. Oh, mine is the same. Yes, let's set this up and then we can do that.
So we will copy the client ID and a key.
Oh, yeah, let's do this first. So let's just because it's on. Okay. So okay, who had problem with this?
Client ID also we have got. Client ID and a key.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, just copy paste.
Both.
I didn't.
Both.
Actually, you're only going to need the key, but do it both because
Yeah.
it's going to be your idea, right?
Right.
And actually, I think we are in business. Now, can you run? So try to run this cell now with your API. Did it run? Did someone have problem? You have problem. Okay, so Cash App's with us. Try to run the second cell.
It worked.
It worked. The third one. All right. So let me change this so I can show you.
Worked.
Okay, good news. So this is the data. This is the information that we have. So what we did here, we grabbed, we put these parameters. Restaurant, I put a limit of 10. I have a ratios on the city, on the location that I'm looking. And I said, okay, so bring me every single restaurant that exists within this margin, right? This fence. And it did. So the first one is Agricola. Everyone knows, right? It's a restaurant right here. And we have all this information here on Agricola. Okay, so please be aware that you have the price, you have the rating, you have categories. But they say I asked for them to say. So we have a bunch of information. Now the blue point group, yes, please. Okay, probably. Okay, is everybody on the same page here? Who's not on the same page? Why? What is appearing?
No, I think your line is the data business in the original file. It was
Oh yes. Sorry. So here I've deleted some stuff here. So it's only data business, and then if you run this, it's going to appear what I'm showing. Okay. Okay. What is that? This cell here, data business. Before it was like this: 1, And
Zero and something.
it was
Zero. ID.
Okay, yes, zero ID, yes.
So what was the ID?
So this was, I was looking for, I have a whole database of restaurants, right? So I'm looking at the first one, so Python understands zero as the first one. So I'm grabbing the first business and I'm looking at the ID of the business.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is going to appear a given number. ID. But actually, if I do this, I delete the ID, it's going to appear every single information of the first business. The first business is Agricola, a restaurant right here. Okay? All right. So the second thing that we're going to do is, why did I do that? Why did I grabbed ID? Because to grab the reviews, I'm going to need the ID. I'm going to need to parse the ID. So that's what this code here below does. Okay. So basically what I did was to input here the ID. This is the ID of Agricola, Agricola's ID. And then now I have this other information. So the endpoint here is /reviews, right? Right here, /reviews. Now, only for Agricola, we have this information here. Right. Had dinner with some coworkers last night, and I was absolutely blown away with this plot. So, regarding this first sentence, remember what we saw last class. What is the most important word here in this first review? Until here.
Blown away.
Blown away. Blown away. So this kind of thing those are the words that matter. Those are the words that we want to grab. So, okay.
What units is the radius again?
I'm sorry?
What units are the radius?
Oh, let's go to, okay, so I think this is the most important thing that I'm going to get back to this. Basically, that's the whole code that we're going to show right now. I want to show you another thing here. Now, if we got here, Fusion API, and this is details. So this is the documentation of the business details. Everything that is going to be parsed and everything you can set. So name, categories, da, 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 da. Now we were talking about distance, no, ratio, right?
The radius was the input into the API.
Yeah.
The parameters, yeah.
This should be. Okay, I'm going to check that, the units of the radius. I'm going to check that. Meters. Okay, thank you. It's on in meters.
10,000 meters?
10 kilometers.
10, 12. Oh, so
No, actually 10 kilometers is around 6 miles. 6 miles. So this is the documentation. So we have a bunch of characteristics of the business, and we also have the documentation for the reviews.
This is what we're going to do analytics on. We're using this data from Yelp and performing crossing out.
Okay. This the things that we're going to have as an output. and etc. All right. So what I presented here are the tools to scrape to get information on businesses. Now, I would like to propose this, and that's the class today. We're going to form groups of at most three. Okay. 3 or 4, at most 4, and you're going to propose a business. So I clicked here restaurants, but of course it's yellow. So you have dry cleaning, you have a bunch of business. You can choose any city. You can choose the ratios. You can choose any parameter that you want. For example, if you want restaurants, you can even parse. I would like, I don't know, Indian food. You would like to open a business on Indian food. And the goal today is to find out as many information that you have on that business, on that type of business. So you can say, okay, I think that if I were to open this business, how would I pitch that to investors? So you have one key information on that. You have business with 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. So let's say I'm going to open an Italian restaurant. Of course, I'm going to check the 5-star restaurants. I also have the prices. I think it's $3. What's the name of dollar sign?
Yeah.
So $3 sign, $2 sign, $1 sign. So you start to have some information and try to understand with the reviews. And please, this is a natural language processing class. So it will be one of the main inputs or that you need to address. Not necessarily is going to be the best input to assess the business, but in this case, because the API is for free and we are only entitled for 3 reviews by business, the free API. So we have 3 reviews by business. So Agricola has 3 reviews, Mediterra, etc. So try to scrape the best words that is going to describe the business that you're intending, and that's right. Let's see what you guys can find out about that. Okay? Yes or no? Okay. So show hands here who are very good programmers, who are very confident regarding programming. Oh, come on. No, come on. You know who you are. You know who you are. No, please, come on. I need to know because I have to partner. Now, show hands who doesn't know how to program. Okay, those who doesn't know how to program, please let's match you with those who does know how to program. Yeah, let's match.
You
You know how to do it.
You don't know
I
how
know
to
how to program.
Okay.
I
I know, but then I haven't done it for a long time.
You got the time.
Yeah, I
Okay,
pretty
so
much
form
understand.
groups of 3, the 3 that's going
I
is
just
close to
cannot
you, probably
do it
we're going
right
to
away. I
find
just-
those who doesn't know how to program
I
with
think
those
we're using-
who knows how to program.
You want to do it together or?
Okay? So,
You want to get a bigger group?
oh, that's the fine.
You want to group the other one?
Be in a group together?
So first question that you have to answer. What is the business that you're going to open? Is it a restaurant? Is it a clothing store? Etc. That's the first question that you have to set.
Yeah, actually, I didn't quite understand. So we have the assumption of the business we're going to open up, right?
Yes.
We're going to grab all the information for that business within the area.
You're doing market research.
Okay,
You're
that's
doing
market research.
Yes. So you're going to see the business that exists. What are their strengths? I think that's
Okay.
that's the main point here. And of course, as you have the number of stars that they receive, of course you would prefer to look at the 5 stars, and actually you would look at 1 star to see what they're doing bad.
Okay.
And then you're going to put this together.
So pretty much we're going to using this API to looking at what kind of information we can retrieve, right? Then we perform all the whatever necessary
That's perfect.
analysis.
Now, guys, just one last thing. We do have here, of course, Cash App, myself. We have Adam over there and Brian over here. If you need any help, just call us and we can work this together. Okay?
How much time?
So, Adam, please. So that's Adam, everyone.
In the back left corner.
Brian over here. Yeah, Cash App. Okay, so that's it's 7:30 or 6:30. Let's do that until 7:15.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, it's a lot of time.
So we're gonna do a market research
Of course, the goal here
competition of a
is
business.
No,
So if we pick a business in Princeton, that'll be a lot of competition, right?
first of all,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter we can succeed or not. Just do it. No, I think pretty much. So what he said, just like we want whatever the business you want open up. Right? So before we open up, we need to do some market research to see what's out there. We try to identify what's the
Competition.
in general competition to say if any business is who operates good with the 5 stars who are like operates not quite good, try to identify.
Oh, see, I get it. He put in Princeton and Radius.
Yes.
And so,
That's pretty much just setting. We can change anywhere, in case you want to open a business in Trenton or whatever.
no, I mean, where would it make sense to open it? May not be the best place.
You try to
You want to be someplace where you want to be.
the Trenton open up a 5-star there. So we still need to do some quite a bit coding, right? We
So what he asked for was a limit of 50, and he got 3, right? So that means there was only 3 of it. And he asked for a restaurant in Princeton. That's hard to believe.
Yeah,
He didn't limit it when he was printing.
no, actually no. I think
So these are reviews for the one business.
yeah. So that's pretty much all the tax we returned actually. So if you remove that the index if you remove that the index retrieved, then you can get pretty much up. So
The whole thing.
yeah, so the limit is on 50. So yeah, so right after the data business. Yeah, so that's whatever you like to retrieve.
So big is this puppy? Where is the woman?
So that's pretty much like 50, all the way to 50.
Oh, it's so vulnerable.
Huh?
Still feeding it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, 819.
What is it? 819.
Oh, no. I'm saying total 819 down here. I'm not sure what that means. But that was reviews.
Yeah, that's the review number of reviews.
I'm trying to see, this is, Earl is the terminal part of it. So it starts, it's got curly braces, alias, DJ, Asian cuisine. Oh, that's the,
Yeah, what is the total there? I think that there's the review count, total price ratings.
oh, here's the name down here.
So, I'm not sure which.
So then, so after have this data, what do we do with it?
Oh, it must be. Got it, got it. So the real expression here is just for us to change this.
Not really.
Yeah, that's where I'm not sure.
Like, you don't need to do restaurant. You can do spas. So you change that. Get some value here.
That's pretty much all the information.
Business.
Right,
What was the one before? It wasn't Trattoria.
This is,
Right, but if we don't work,
Yeah, it's a look. It's a look.
I can get that deep yet. I just.
Yeah.
Okay.
So use the text.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then there were some systems along the way. I put this Okay, let me. Okay, so I think that I'm missing a for loop here. I forgot to put a for loop because when we are entering, so this runs well. You're going to grab the business. So you have here, you have data. That's okay. And we were checking this guy here, right? The agricola. If we put 0, if I put 0 and ID,
here we go.
I'm going to get the idea of agricola, right?
Kind of the list.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that's good.
So what I want to do, if I want to grab every restaurant ID, I have to make a list of this. So
Okay.
what I would do is, or restaurant in
Okay. You put the response into the JSON.
What do you want? Yeah. This is what the limit.
right. So to get this code here that I've shown you before gets the ID only for agricola. Now, if we run a for loop, what we are doing here is checking each business inside data business. And I'm printing out item ID. So actually, to have a list of IDs,
This isn't that many.
lists of IDs equals this. So here I created an empty list. What I'm going to do with this is actually lists of
That would be like, we do what, 2
ideas, append,
That's pretty far.
and then I put this.
Okay, that is.
Now, if I run this for loop is going through each item, it's going to grab the ID of the item, and it's going to append to this list of IDs. In the end, what we're going to have, a full list of every single idea that we've just captured, of the business that we've just captured. Why is this important? Because later we're going to have to for loop to get the reviews of each business. We're going to have to do a for loop on that. Okay? Now let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
Is this clear or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The size of what? Exactly what you do. The size of what?
Okay. Raise your hand here. Who is completely lost? Feel free to be honest.
Fine, completely.
Completely lost. Okay. Who here is able to get some information from the data? You did. All right. You did. Who didn't get any information from the data so far? 1, 2. Who is not? Who is listening to me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so let me do this.
Give us fine.
Actually, it's pretty cool. Actually, the first time I'm using this thing, Focus Python the notebook. It's pretty much when you type the one open person's code, give you close.
Right, that can be either helpful or annoying, depending on. Because
Right.
I keep forgetting about it. So I've got the the list. I don't know.
Yeah, I get this then using this list to run
We can say
a for loop and to getting the review, the text.
is, but I mean, so what are we going to do with the text? Then at that point.
Yeah, the text is, that's where the text you should have supposed to utilize some natural language process.
Okay, so someone asked me why did I skip the 0?
Yeah, I totally.
Here.
I can't remember how this.
So basically, when I'm doing this, when I put 0, I'm grabbing the first business. When I'm doing this for loop, I'm checking each one of the business. So it's going to check the first business, it's going to do this. Then it's going to check the second, it's going to do this. The third, and so on. So whenever I want to assess every single business, I do a for loop. And then I grab the information of every single business. Okay? Let me put this in.
I have this class saved. I mean, the other class 1.
The first one.
Usually, what I do in business is what I do is this. Grab this guy.
I think he probably will talk about it.
Oh, wow. That's.
I do this. Okay,
I
so
was so confident that I.
what I would do is this. First, I would just put this data business 0. I'm going to see every single information that I can grab from this business. So
Let's try this.
let me put. So, okay, so here we have every single information we can derive from a business, right? The first thing that I will do here is
So could you talk a bit louder at that?
louder.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, sorry. Does this work? There's a mic here. Okay, let's do a fun thing here. So if I do this, everybody here is on the same page. You have the first business, which would be Agricola, and we have all this information, right? If I were to start a business, the first thing that I would assess are all 4 and 5 star business, right? Because I want to see, okay, who is being the best business. I want to see what they are doing.
What makes a good business a good business?
Yeah, so what I would do to get this information, what you can do is data.
Oh, sorry.
And let's see here, so I guess location, price, no, not price, rating. All right. So if I do this, this is important. If I do this, I can grab the rating of the business.
It's that thing, that rating thing over you see here, and we're just focusing on to get to that.
Yep.
I'm just checking, okay, I want to see the rating. So I'm for looping here the list of ideas, right? I'm passing this code here, passes through each one of the business and get the ideas, correct? Of course, that I can do, instead of only grabbing the ideas, I can grab 2 things, ID and
You grab them all.
ID, comma, item, rating. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, pandas.
Okay, I got something wrong here.
This is other graph. That was after it already did that, right?
Oh, yeah, this is using.
Okay, so good news. Now with this for loop, I have not only the ID, but I also have the rating of the business. And actually I can add all this information that is relevant, that I think that will be relevant. For example, let's see, location. It might be relevant or not. We're going to check images. We're going to check that in April. March, April. Yes, April. We're going to do image recognition. We're going to use this. We're not going to use this right now. Let's say country. Is it important? It's not. It's US. So you're set to be at Princeton or somewhere. So you can find the information that you think it's relevant, so you can assess the business. What I would grab from here is price, for example. So let's see, we have price. Yes, we do have price.
1, 2, 3.
No. What I would do is, I just copy this. Price. Let's see. Always. Price.
Per month. And I'm getting.
I have absolutely no idea why it's not.
Business.
Okay, well, this was very good because this happened here. Now, this is a very common error that you're going to face. So remember that we were able to get ID, we were able to get the rating, and all of a sudden, price didn't work out. So if you check the data here that we are for looking for each business, price and rating, they are in the same level. So what happened? Basically, what this for loop did, it went through the first business, 0. Okay, it grabbed every single information. Went through the second, the third, the fourth, etc. When it reached the 7th business, the 8th business, it didn't have a rating. Has no rating. Actually, has no price. It has no price. So this for loop, it looked for a price, and actually the information wasn't there. So it generated an error. How usually you can fix that? You can put here try.
This API only allows you to business.
At least if you want to play. So things, it's going to render data. It's all package stored in some other kind
Sorry. Try column.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Just edit. It has to be.
Okay?
All right.
So what this code is doing is, look, it entered this guy here, it didn't have a price, it inputted none. So what this code is doing here is, okay, that's a good one. So he's going to try to do that. If it renders into an error, he's going to say, okay, that's not the best thing to make it clear, but it works. If it re-enters to an error, do this. Basically, that's the goal. Now, of course, whenever you do a try and accept, you're trying to grab a given error, and you're going to output some message. The message I would output here is there's no price in this business, or yes, I think that's the error is because there's no price.
So pretty much then you have to consider all the situations, right? So if there's no rating, right?
If there's no rate, everything you have to parse. So I haven't said that this was going to be easy, but you need. But actually, you have the tools to go around that, go around the difficulties. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So what I would do is grab.
What parameters are accepted on the term?
You can put any keyword, but there's some keywords that are on the documentation here. Let's see. All right. Yes, the keywords. Restaurant, cleaning, whatever you want to open.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you have to find a good keyword.
If data returns empty, that means that the keyword didn't work.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that it's accepted predetermined.
No. From the documentation. Okay. There are some.
So is there like a list of the keywords
Yeah,
for the business?
that's what I'm looking, but not here is optional. Search term, for example, food, restaurants. So put a keyword that would represent your business. So it's going to appear.
What do you want? So you should be able to see what we see.
Pretty much the Dex 9 just call API for the review. Where to retrieve the review text.
Yeah, that was in the help.
Yeah, in the documentation.
Yeah. Oh, this is, yeah, business endpoints. Oh, right up here, request.
Yeah.
But then
Other ID, I think
this is the first part.
yeah, and then the review. I think you click on this. Yeah, it's right there.
There's a rating side.
So what we want to do
Yeah.
is we have a visit, we have a.
He's putting
You can put there's a.
For some reason, he's giving me key error price, which
Yeah.
this is okay.
Yeah, here
It's right from here.
yeah, I think he just mentioned the you have to put the because there's the exceptions.
If you have a numeric,
No, the price because the try exception. It's kind of because the price for something like the restaurant don't have the price listed, so that's why you have to kind of try and capture the exceptions, so then you bypass that.
so they may not have, some of them might
Yeah,
not.
you might not
This
have
one
to.
does, but some of them may
Some
not.
yeah, might not have. So that's what it
I missed that. Yeah, I think I
I did that.
So
but
we're just throwing
with a
them away
different
if
way
they
of
don't have
doing it.
yeah, it's kind of like
Without using actually
capture
using,
the exceptions and then how to
There's
handle
another
exceptions.
way to do it, which is requests. Basically,
How
you're
did
going
you
to
end up
paste
trying?
HTML.
Yeah,
so-
actually I just copied the
Oh, that was just for price.
yeah
And
just for
there
price.
you can put the parameters that you want. I did that. Yes, I did that. Not with this kind of thing.
But they should provide a way to do it too.
Yes, yes. I did that for Yelp, but with a different kind of, not using Python. So I have to check now using Python how to do it. But I'm going to do it right now. Yes.
I think pretty much right now I'm just go his script, copy paste. It's you can refresh his script and then copy whatever he typed.
Oh yes, but the print is on the forward. So
What's the termination of a try again?
Okay, just a second. Let me.
no.
Oh,
And
accept.
caption it.
Accept.
So needs and accept.
And
Yeah, needs accept.
but I don't think you should. This guy here, it's not going to run because it's going.
Yeah.
Although you put the try accept, this guy here, it's not inside your accept. Put a tab here. Yes, put a tab here. Put this guy inside the accept. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, right there. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, yes.
That's what he wants you to.
Are we gonna do that?
Yes.
First of all, you want to be greater than
Yeah, but that's just.
the guy.
This just throws them away. Says if anyone fails. Yeah. So we don't.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have
Yes.
that. Some of these came out a little. Just wrapped around, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically. So you can go online and you can.
So this is the complete list, I guess, except for the ones that threw in there.
Oh, okay, okay. So
I put the name in.
so you pretty much exclude exclude
Ask
the
me, it's just
okay.
don't do anything.
Okay.
Couldn't remember.
Yeah.
You're assuming there's.
Grab one of these. That line.
Because like the whole point of.
I kind of use it.
Oh, yes, on the pen if it's not there, it's a key here.
So, yeah, so just.
The problem is, we're like, okay.
Greater than. So it seems like when you reference particular attributes, it doesn't matter if you have the single
You can check the
or
original.
double quote.
Now you have.
I think not. There might be some of these.
But that's not the view.
Ah, okay. Yeah, sorry. It's supposed to review is not text. And then you're going to have the
That's
reviews.
double.
It's like a blessing and a curse, good and bad at the same time.
No,
It's good shit, like because now you
And that was, I think that was describing the first one.
Peacock Inn is only $3.
So
That's pretty expensive, I thought.
I don't think it's necessary to get to the point you wanted to get to, but we're just trying to teach us that.
Maybe I'm thinking of different books.
there's a
Okay.
epic styling thing.
So,
You should just like that.
actually, you have the response reviews.json, right? Now you put response reviews.json reviews. Now we're going to have here a list of reviews. And then if you do the first one, let's grab the first review. Yes.
Plug in.
So you have this JSON here that I haven't input yet.
Add the JSON value,
Okay.
grab it first.
And then you will have access to the reviews.
Here.
Yeah, and you can export.
Come on.
So that you had access to the information you wanted. Right now, it's just giving us a list. So that's when you go back to like Fusion API, figure out what you
Wow.
I picked up Brickhouse Tavern and Tap. That's on Route 1. That's, yeah, got a bit of a radius.
Yeah, we try so.
Blue Point Grill. That's the one.
Okay, guys. Second thing here. So if you want to filter out the good review, the business ideas with good reviews, this is a different way to do a for loop, actually. So this is called list comprehension. So basically, what it's doing is grabbing each X for each item in this list. If the element 1, there's element 0, element 1, element 2. If element 1 is larger or equal 4. So that's how I create this list here of good businesses. Okay? This code does this.
Subsetting the list.
Yes, I'm subsetting the list.
How do you do a histogram, right? Instead of giving me all the list, to say how many have 5 stars, how many have 4 stars.
That's a very good question. Let me create this function here. Is everyone okay here?
I'm surprised I don't see any $4 signs. Is that off the map? Oh, here's one. Oh,
$4. Oh, elements.
$4.
Okay, elements. Where's it? Oh, elements in the what's it called? The Bursa Mall, inside Bursa Mall. Elements, right?
This is all. And this is a Python library too. So it makes functions that grab the data. So
It's going to be 10.
we're here last week.
We're going to change this.
Yeah. Okay, so
And
last week we did the whole substance analysis.
Okay, now let's go through another step.
I got
Yeah.
the teacup.
That makes it makes
Oh, I didn't
makes a
account for
lot
the ones I
easier.
threw away.
We have some data structures in Python, and the best way to do, actually the simplest way to do, at least I like to think. I'm very good with Excel. I was raised with Excel, so for me it's much easier to think like Excel. Like I have a one spreadsheet. Now in Python, we have two main packages, two main ways to deal with data. If it's all numerical, if you're dealing with matrices, you're going to use a package called NumPy. If you have a mix of things, you're going to use another package called pandas. So usually pandas and NumPy, they are super important in Python. If you program in R, pandas is like the data frame. So, and actually you have here pd.data frame. So I created, now instead of having this list, instead of having this, I've created something more structured called a pandas data frame. So here I have the ID, I have the rating, and the pricing. Now it's going to be much easier to do subsetting, to group by, it's going to be much simpler. How do I do that? I import the package. Usually you import pandas and you call PD. That's very mainstream, everybody does this. So data frame is going to be pd.dataframe, and then I parse the list of lists. Or I parse the data. Let's say that you're going to read some CSV, pd.read_CSV, pd.read_ JSON. So pandas is very straightforward. That's the way to organize your data. And then I passed the name of the columns because this list didn't have the names. If you're going to read a CSV that already have the column names, you don't have to parse this. It will understand that it's going to be the columns. Okay. Now we're going to play a little bit with pandas. So, and here when I put head, I'm just outputting the first 5 items, the first 5 rows, instead of outputting a bunch of things that you have to scroll down each step. Okay, so now we're going to play a little bit with this. But go on, keep working on your stuff. I'm going to create here some functions so we can start to output some graphs. Okay.
So the pandas is a kind of data frame used in Python.
Yes.
But R has something separate thing, right?
It's data frame.
Data frame.
R is data frame.
Okay.
The same thing. Data frame.
Okay. So they say. Do you know R?
Yeah. I used to do R, but then seems like I've been widening. I think now it's kind of gonna become like rusty on.
That's how we're gonna find the sentiment against.
Wait, but I never got to do that.
Oh, but
We can't see that.
would you like to play a little bit with this thing? You feel comfortable?
It's been such a long time to go to data thing. I can work this.
Yeah. There's some stuff that just to Google here. Just Google how to create a data.
The only visualization that I have.
Yes, here's the data.
like this is your DK class. Coming in here, and then that has the information. That has one jump from my DK, which gives this information. Using this information, we use it yeah, we can, but like it's gonna be annoying because we need to create our own.
No.
Yeah, or you want to do DK. You can freeze the screen. Windows P generally pops up with so that's off.
Oh, yes.
Extend is weird, trust me, extend is weird. Extend is like this. Actually, no. I think it's gonna work out.
That's good.
But this is we can put this on there. Okay.
Bye.
Check the live stream first though.
All right. And what do we do? We retrieve the reviews. We retrieve all the reviews.
Yes, that's for sure.
There's some stats pulled in pandas. Okay, I got the names out. The columns.
Cool.
This is the data. Something like.
So, okay. Oh, interesting. So, okay, actually, so in order to print out it on the screen, so you have to have actually just print this variable right there, and it's printed.
Well, there's maybe some limitations, and it only happens once per second.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
the last one on cell
Okay.
is what gets printed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
otherwise, you can use print, which sometimes behaves differently. Like we found
Okay.
did print of the business.
Okay.
And it mushed it. It didn't, print so nicely.
I did it in the format which is
Like up here.
Yeah. It's kind of
This business right here, if you print that, it comes out like looking like that. But otherwise, prints, you can have as many as you want. There. See, there's my round brackets in the wrong place. That's the point where it's most annoying. See, it pushed it all the way out. So it goes forever.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It didn't format.
Okay.
That's why I took it off. Like I made a cell just for that.
His career back then. So to pull up from where can you assuming the terminal could select? Could you only press the stream?
One other thing that is very interesting to use this kind of process is the group by function in the data field. So if I want to summarize the data, if I want to summarize the information, let's say that I want to group by rating. And I want to count how many rows it appears for any single rating. So we just do this. Data from the group by, and then you input the column that you're going to use to group by. You know, in Excel you have pivot table. So that's this will be a zero. I'll do pivot table. But I'm actually counting. I could do this meaning, I could do a bunch of functions. Actually, I can even build my own function and parse here. And it's going to calculate based on this function. It's very important. It's very, very interesting. It's going to summarize a lot of things. But I can do this histogram. When I do this, but if you do there,
so data frame.hist is going to output the histogram. Okay. And of course you can parse in I haven't used the group by. I just put data frame.hist and this appeared. Okay?
What's the y-axis? The count or
the count?
Okay.
You're right.
So I feel the second.
You can't do that. You can't. No, 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 you can't. Because you were trying to get one thing. It's not inclusive.
So he's doing histogram, and then it's automatically grouped by rating. So we've gone on this.
Did he say something about the limitation of Yelp API or some limits? I didn't hear. I thought he was saying
The limit is, I think the total number of call API call into that.
From your account.
Yeah, on each what's it called the
Business.
No, it's not business. It's the so under your ID, right? So under your this keys. I think any one time probably you. No, it's not one time. I saw some.
Are we in danger of hitting the limit?
Yeah. Yes. It's something like
if I keep hitting enter.
Yes. Yeah. You
I haven't rerun. I'm still using the data. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, actually, the daily API limit is 5,000.
Oh, deal.
Yeah.
That's okay, cool.
I think probably just under your actually key. Right.
So let's see, which one? Oh, this got it right there.
You see here under my accounts when I call like 4 times, it's remaining API calls is this.
I reran this again because I wanted to get pandas imported in a top quality station. I ran that when I did that.
Oh yeah, no, I think we definitely have plans to play with.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Yeah, I was searching pandas data from the.
So it's doing summaries of ID. Oh, these are counts. It's just these are just counts. They're all the same. They're all the same.
Just got all these details. This.
You can do it
It's for, that's right.
Oh, see, I just converted price into a number.
Cool.
So I put a length
Mhm.
function for string.
Oh, okay,
Just the
okay.
length of the
Yeah,
string.
yeah, yes. Yeah.
Now let's see. Better. Better stats.
Wait, and then you can, again, later.
Sold me a grill too. Tim sold me a grill too.
Okay, so I got price in my histogram.
How did you do that?
I turned it into a number. It's only using numeric variables.
Okay, okay. ID name, price, review counts.
Yeah, so these were already in there.
You know, actually, one of the things we can also actually evaluate. So, pretty much, so if say total number of counts, right? If say one particular restaurant rated at 4, right? Then if total number of counts are more, so that should be, you know, should
Total
be in
number of
favor.
reviews.
Yeah, total number
yeah, I
of
mean,
reviews,
that's-
right?
Yeah, I do that on
Even better.
Amazon all the time.
Yes.
Just how many reviews is
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
things you can sort on.
Yes. Yeah.
So if it's happening, then there's lots of reviews.
Yeah, yeah. So in terms like the population, you have more people visit, you're still getting the good review. That should be more reliable than the one you only have 1 or 2 reviews.
Yeah, so I mean that's all your buddies. Or whatever. Yeah, people challenge
Yes,
that.
yeah,
Do that all
yeah,
the time.
that's what it
It's
is.
less easy to do it when you have
Yeah,
a lot of
Yes, yeah.
reviews.
So then, so if we evaluate here, so definitely we were looking at all those. We can actually so putting some code in there. So
I don't know whether it I mean, it's just giving the head on something.
So right now, so if we retrieve that review text, how are we gonna do with this? So,
How to retrieve the review?
no. I mean, how if we have this text,
Yes. NLP, the class, our previous class.
the last one, right? That's something we have to collect.
No, you don't have the code.
No. I think I do. I don't
Yes,
have,
we
don't have the
you
code.
would have to collect, yes.
Okay.
The true meaning of this here is because we have a capstone project in the end.
Okay, I see.
So actually, what we are doing here is starting the capstone.
Pointing towards it.
So now, of course, that's 2 hours going to be very hard to build a business analysis.
Okay.
Otherwise, everybody would do consulting.
Okay.
But actually, this is,
Okay.
This is for the capstone project.
Okay. Okay. Then I will. I'm working on it.
So the best thing is I'm very excited to see that everybody's working very hard on this. I'm impressed. I thought that everybody was going to get up and simply leave.
I'd like to, do more with pandas, stats. So
No, in the end, I'm going to ask for the difficulties. And the office hours is for that. The office hours is to get the case of, for example, pandas.
did you say 9 or 10?
10 to 12. And it's going to be actually in a conference room.
Saturday, right? Saturday.
Saturday.
And of course, you do it. You do have my email. Some people email me, but I don't think that this is very clear. This is clear to my contacts.
So, okay, so
I'm going to put here in the end. I'm going to put here. John,
So this is like there's it's a different
my wife just got her man. She was only to a phase where she has to set up everything. She doesn't have the codes. So that's
something that will run on a Mac.
Adam, probably Adam.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. Wait, it's definitely.
How we can connect to that?
So what would you say? I mean, if we have a sentiment analysis method, it's against body, what do they call it? Corpus. Some bunch of text, right?
Yes, yeah.
But we have ratings, so would it be appropriate to just mush them together and then run it against? So like have a blob, if you will, 50 ratings from one restaurant, and then just run that through the algorithm to get the positivity or negativity of it.
In general, that's the idea. So pretty much, let me see how we want to do this.
So we could do each one and get sentiment and then average them. Maybe another approach. We could just throw them all in the same.
We can just we at least we have the minimum.
So I'm seeing 2 for loops here. One to go over the list of IDs. You've got 30 IDs. After I threw away the ones that I didn't like, the ones that had no price, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So then within that, you could take that business ID and then do that other column. And then we have to cycle through instead of grabbing a list. We can just keep appending. Until we have a another.
I think the one which you had, you just did like a summary of the counts, right? I think you just put one line in the code and get the counts. Get a code.
Right here is where his sample program.
Let's retrieve the review.
Yes. And here we're just looking at.
I think
this must be limiting it to maybe there was only 3 for that one restaurant, do you think? It only gave us 3.
no,
total.
Actually, not necessarily.
Yeah, see, this is
Only three.
this is a 3-level JSON. Okay, so the possible languages, reviews, and total are the highest level. But then under reviews, that's where this other list of 3. But he's telling us we had 819.
What does that mean?
It forces to
See, the 3 things
it shows the last thing. So if you put
are at a higher level.
because mine
It's just whatever, the output of the JSON.
the graph. It always shows the graph.
Yeah, but
And if you put previous, but I'm going to do
So from my understanding, they're actually gets things going, right? Right, so where do I print that?
You can. But this is gonna put an error when it's getting.
Yeah, dude. That was for the actual data.
I don't know the exact.
I'm gonna guess, but no. Sometimes they.
Well, it depends on the data.
That's what I would definitely do on trend.
okay.
That's exchange shape.
Try wider shape.
But that's.
Hey guys,
That's a good one, right?
let me ask you something. It's 7:45 right now. Time flies, right?
Is there any kind of graph we can do, like 3D graphs with this?
Yes. So, I'm going to do the final comments because I have to end at 8. Fine. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to post. I don't think that everybody is in our meetup group. So, I would like to know which is the best tool for us to share documents with you. Sorry? GitHub. Okay. Yeah, I have to create it. Okay, so let's do that.
I'm good. I know, but I don't think you're sorry, but I'm curious now.
You could be like.
Sorry? You try to enter the meetup, but it doesn't exist?
Yeah, it's been giving an error.
What's your?
Meetup, Princeton School of AI.
I have a Windows.
No,
They work.
Meetup is not good for distribute the. Not good for distribute all the documents. No, yeah, GitHub is good. You can just actually just copy or print or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
It works. So Princeton School of AI. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to post, I'm going to create a GitHub for the School of AI. I do have one, but we're going to create one for this school. And I'm going to post the previous code, the NLP that we did for Twitter. And I'm going to post this code, but actually with the functions, with the assessment that the first assessment that I would do. Okay? And step by step. And let me see what else. On Saturday. So I'm going to post that on Saturday. Saturday, we're going to have an office hours from 10 to noon. It's going to be, Kelsey sent me a text. It's going to be at that conference room. That is a little bit bigger. What else? So GitHub, I'm going to post this. You're going to be able to do your own assessment. And actually, the idea here, as we promised, a capstone project in the end. The idea of this meeting here is for you to start thinking about the capstone project, the thing that we are going to deliver in the end. You're going to showcase to potential clients or employees or employers or this actually everything in data science. You're going to spend 80 or 90% of your time doing that. Grabbing the data, grabbing the information. Okay, what is the information that I want? What I want to disclose, and it's going to be a lot of bugs. Probably you enter, I don't know who used Google here to search for how to do some things. Google is your best friend by far. And actually, Stack Overflow is your best friend. And I don't know if you know that, but Stack Overflow, if you do, you get points from participating. And actually, potential employers look at those points. So it's a good way to show that you are, how do I say this, involved
like,
in the community.
What you're doing in the community.
Yes.
And just building off of Vinicius, like what we did, how painstaking that was, that is in reality like not even 100% of what you're going to be. Now we're using an API, but if you're building something specific, you don't really have an API anymore that you can just quickly just call and access. So that's kind of the whole reason we're doing this, and we didn't just import some like 60,000 reviews on like some other different website. So just getting hands-on with this process is really important. As I said, one for a basis for your capstone, and two for any other projects that you do, like that you do personally, not something like off of course, which they have all the data prepared.
Yes, and let me see. So office hours. Okay, so who here has our email? Who doesn't have and wants to have? So this my email is.
Is it on Meetup? Would it be on Meetup?
Sorry?
I don't think it's on Meetup, is it?
I posted on the discussion actually. Let me put here. In cache
Discussion.
I have to check this cache. Cache, is this your email? Not me wrong.
Koch, KTCHU. So
KTCHU.
Yes. So I was just either species. Yes.
Gmail.
Yeah, but that won't be the session, so that's it.
You can't. No, you can just send an analysis for that. Yeah, obviously it's not the best, but something is off of. Otherwise, like the number one way is just train up with your own data. Have like a bunch of data.
What was that library?
Spacey.
No, for the training, for your own, is it LS?
LSTM is not a library, it's like a structure to train up. Or the library, you want to look at CRs.
Okay, so besides the office hours, whoever wants to discuss the projects, etc., feel free to reach. What else? So for those who arrived a little bit late, on May we're going to start another class. This is going to continue a class in trying to assess, try to make business, some business assessments, something that you can apply directly. And we're going to start another class that is going to be more academic oriented.
Yeah.
So
more fundamentals, like focusing on the foundations of this stuff with like the mathematics. Like we're just using libraries, but like what does it mean? Like what are the crux? What are the number crunching that's going on? Because it's statistics at the end of the day. So.
Statistics, linear algebra, partial derivatives. It's going to be beautiful. But building the algorithm itself, first using matrices. Deep learning is matrix multiplication. That's it. So if you did linear algebra 1, you know how to do deep learning. Now the way that you do these things is a little bit tricky, but it's basically linear algebra. And we're going through that. But this probably is going to start in May. So I think that's it. What else?
Yeah, I think he mentioned all the points about the office hours. Any questions, just email us. We have the live stream that's going to go on the meetup.
Yes.
I think that's it for now. Collab's always online, so.
I do have one question. I do have a few questions. Okay, what was the main difficulty that you faced today? Just keywords without being too keywords.
I know Java.
Pandas. Who had difficulty with pandas? Who doesn't know pandas? So this is very important. Okay, so pandas, we didn't use NumPy. What else?
Yeah.
JSON, this JSON structured databases.
Parsing through the data
How
to get the
to get the
specific
data.
reviews and ratings and stuff like that.
I'm going to post some material on that as well. What else?
Calling Yelp, like dealing with the API with Yelp, doing the GET requests. Stuff like that.
The API was simply, it's very easy, right?
It's very boilerplate.
Okay, that's good. It's good. And for those who are interested on setting up the Twitter API, it takes longer, much longer. But there's a video in our meetup group, and I'm going to upload. GitHub doesn't have a video, right? But I'm going to put some the resources, and I'm going to.
We'll have a README, like a text document which has all the information that you need to know ever for this class.
And any questions?
Just per day, you can make like 5,000 calls. I think it's like not time,
Usually
it's
like this.
It's the number of calls, number of hits you make on the API.
Yeah, you pretty much you can see the counts on the
On your Yelp
but under your account you can see that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I always see so.
And let me see. So that's what I would like that you think about is the capstone project. What is the thing that you would like to build in the end? You would have in your GitHub, and you would be proud to present, saying, "Okay, I did this assessment. It was like this, da, 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 da." And then we can talk about your capstone project. Shoot us an email, and we can go through together. Okay?
What do you mean? You're saying making our own idea for capstone?
Yes.
Capstone is like what you want to do, what's your specific.
So I will rely on the capstone to get a promotion for the year.
Yeah. Might work.
All right.
There you go.
If you do get a promotion, take us to dinner.
Yeah.
Let's go to Elements. We're going to. Right, good news. If you get a promotion, Elements for everyone. Okay. All right. So. Okay. Yes.
On the dot.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just one last thing. I'm so happy that everyone is working on the code.
Yeah.
That's simply fantastic. I thought that everybody was going to just to leave. Said, you know what? They're not going to show us anything. I'm going to leave. So thank you very much. Thank you for the